Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about how to set up your autoresponder. So let's just talk about in general what autoresponder setup should look like, and then we're going to do this together inside the autoresponder. So in general the flow is quite simple, but I just wanted to summarize it here for you guys on a page. The way that this should work is that first of all the subscriber should opt in to your autoresponder, at which point in time the actual email of the subscriber actually gets added into your autoresponder software. Then as a second step, subscribers should get a tag so that we can identify them inside the autoresponder that they have joined a particular page, a particular sequence in your autoresponder. It is a good habit to get into so that you can identify which subscriber came from which subscription source. Then that subscriber should also be added to the follow-up sequence. So that's going to be the sequence of emails where the subscriber is going to be getting your affiliate offers, your the first email to them would be the initial opt-in gift that they wanted to get, and then all of the affiliate offers with your affiliate links, as well as some useful information, useful posts. So a mixture of those two things. And then after the sequence is finished, so your sequence should really be, as a minimum about 5 to 10 days. After that sequence is finished, we should be pulling that subscriber back into the pool of subscribers to whom you can just market and send one-off messages. I'm going to explain everything step by step a bit further in this video. But now let's actually get into this and let us do this live demo of autoresponder setup. So we're going to set up all of these steps here. Okay guys, so I'm now inside my ConvertKit account, and as you know, ConvertKit is my main software service that I use for managing my email subscribers. If you need to do it in another autoresponder, you can implement the same logic. It's just slightly different steps, and the steps are a little bit different depending on which autoresponder you're going to be using. If you need me to create more videos, how to show how to do it in other autoresponders, just let me know. Okay, so inside ConvertKit, here is how we're going to be doing this. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to create what's called a form. So you do that through landing pages and forms, and let's go ahead and create that landing page or form now. Once you're on this page, you will need to click create a new form. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger and scroll up. Hopefully you guys can see this. There is a button here, create new. So just create new to create a new form. Let me zoom back out. Okay, and now you can see that ConvertKit is asking how do you want to get the subscribers, whether you want to do it through a form or through a landing page. So we're going to choose form, and now it's asking how you'd like to display that form on your website. Would you like it to be inline, so kind of in the middle of the text? Do you want it to pop up after a certain amount of time? Do you want it to slide in, or do you want it to be a sticky bar at the top? So you can use all of these. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on in the course, but let's go first with this inline form. And the first form that we want to create is this one here. So I like this format. You can obviously play around with whatever other formats that you guys prefer to use. You can choose this here, and now you've got an opportunity to actually customize the form and make it a little bit more attractive. So we're going to customize it in a future video. I just want to keep this video focused on the actual technical setup of things. Okay, so for now, we're gonna call this positive. Let's just shorten this to say positive numerology in post. Okay, so it's going to be inside the post. You can give it obviously any name that you want. And then here are a few, so we can say, we're going to customize it, but just so that this is making a bit more sense at this stage, I'm going to call this free numerology reading, okay, because that's going to be our offer. And we're going to come back and customize this in a later video. I'm just going to leave this like this for now. Okay, the other important settings that we need to do at this stage is under settings. Okay, so see here, let me once again just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, it's not quite working. It's probably going to be hidden behind my, on the video behind my camera capture. But essentially here on the right hand side, it says when a visitor subscribes to the form, either show a success message or redirect to an external page. We actually want to choose this, redirect to an external page. And we're going in here, we're going to insert this thank you page. Remember this thank you page that we created? So after subscriber joins our email list, we actually want to send them to this thank you page. That's where you want to paste that URL so that they're sent to the thank you page after they join the form. Okay, and then incentive email, untick that. It's just got to do with whether you want to confirm with a double opt-in or not. It's sort of a slightly more advanced subject. At this point in time, you don't really need to do this. You don't need to worry about this incentive email. And then under advanced settings, it says if they've already subscribed, then what do you want to do? You want to continue to show the form or not. So just leave it as continue to show the form. That is okay. And then click save. So this has now created the very basic form. All right, we're going to customize it in a later video. For now, we've got the form, which is all that we need to do at this stage. So next, we want to create an automation. And to do that, you need to go to automations in the top and then select. So you can either create an automation or a rule. A rule is basically like a simple automation, and an automation as a more advanced automation. They mostly do the same things, but rules tend to be, if this happens, then straight away do this. Whereas automations, you can build quite complicated workflows with, delays and sending people through quite complicated funnels. So for now, though, all we want to do is we want to create a rule, and under that rule, we want to click add rule, and the rule will be, the trigger for the rule will be that when the subscriber subscribes to a form, and that's going to be our form here, positive numerology in post, that's the form that we've just created. What we want to do is we want to add a tag to them. So here is an option here, add tag. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so let's click that. And now we need to choose which tag we actually want to assign to the person. Now, we don't actually have a tag right now that we want to assign because we haven't created a tag for positive numerology subscribers. So let's click create new tag, and our tag will be positive numerology opted in from post. Okay, you can give any tag name that you want, just give it something descriptive that you actually understand what it means. So let's press enter. Okay, so now our rule here is that once a subscriber joins our email list through this form, they get this tag, positive numerology opted in from post. And also what we actually want to do is we want to subscribe them to a sequence. So subscribe to a sequence, and then we want to choose the sequence that we want to subscribe them to. Now, we haven't actually created our sequence yet, okay? So let's just go to leave this screen open and let's create our sequence. So we now need to go to sequences, and then under sequences, what we want to do is click add new sequence and give it a name, whichever name makes sense for you guys. So we're going to call it positive numerology opted in from blog post. Okay, and let's click create sequence. So now we need to set up some basic preferences for a sequence. So a sequence is going to be a sequence that will automatically start sending different things to the person who has opted in. Okay, so our very first email is going to be the email which will actually deliver the promised opt-in gift. So if your opt-in gift is a free report with the high protein shopping list, okay, this is where you would deliver it. You would deliver it in the very first email that goes out the second that the person joins your email list. Now, for the purposes of the demo here, I'm just going to continue with the example that we did earlier, which is the free numerology reading. Okay, so here I'm going to say status, I want it to be active, and when to send, I want to send these after 0 days after last email. So as you can see now, it's changed to when to send. It says immediately. So as soon as the person joins our email list, they will be receiving this email. And now we need to put the subject and the content of the email. Okay, I'm actually going to switch to a new editor here, and I'm just going to pause the video and I'll type up the very first email. Okay, so this is just a very simple example email that I've written here. So all it says is the subject is thanks, access to your reading inside. Content is thanks so much for requesting your numerology reading. So for you guys, if the opt-in gift was the shopping list, there would be thanks, access to your shopping list inside, or thanks, access to your high protein diet PDF inside, or whatever it is that you promised, you can put it in here. All right, then I'm saying click this link to get instant access to personalized numerology reading. So this is where you can insert this link. Now, look, there are multiple ways to do this. Okay, so you can put this, you can insert your affiliate link in here, or you can insert this page that's got your affiliate link, or you can insert the link to the PDF directly. It just really will depend on what it is that you are actually delivering. But you should somehow deliver that promised gift in your very first email, okay? Then generally it's a good idea to insert a little bit of information about yourself. So here all I've written is just very simple, I'd like to welcome you to the Positive Numerology family. I started Positive Numerology because of XYZ. You can put in your bit of story here. Then I'm saying here are some of the most popular blog posts that I'd like to invite you to check out. So here, each of these, you can link to some of the blog posts on your website, whichever blog post you're most proud of, so that people kind of learn more about you and they feel like they've got a connection with you because you've provided them with some excellent reading on your blog. Then you can put in some information just to set some expectations that you're going to be emailing them from time to time with the niche related information. And then just sign off. That's pretty much, you can keep it as simple as that. Now, the big question in your mind is, how do I learn to write good emails? Well, reverse engineer. That's always my answer, unfortunately. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, to a lot of the questions is reverse engineer. This is how I've learned virtually everything that I know about internet marketing and blogging and niche marketing. I reverse engineer. So you should join as many email lists as possible from the leading websites in your niche and see what they do, and then model your emails and model your approach, model your offers based on what the other successful websites in your niche are doing. So just learn from them. I can't teach you every possible variation, because emails in the dog niche are very different to the emails in numerology niche, very different to emails in internet marketing niche. So I suggest that you join email lists of as many successful websites as possible and learn what they do. All right, but in terms of how to set this up, so this is what you do. Okay, so we can just click Save All. Now, it's recommended that you test your email, that you click email and then send that email to yourself to make sure that it arrives in your inbox, not into your promo or spam. If it is going to your promo or spam, then you might need to look at the text that you're using and just change different things in your email to try and make sure that it actually arrives into your inbox. Okay, but we have now got our first email ready to go. So we can now move back to, and we've got our sequence created. We can now move to the settings tab, and let's jump into the settings tab quickly, and I'm going to show you a few things there. Okay, so the important things here are, which days do you want to send emails? So I send emails 7 days a week, not every day, but all of the days are sort of ticked or opened. I also recommend the default time to be around 11 a.m. You can also always change it inside your actual sequence, but for now I've got it set as 11 a.m. Send emails as, so just make sure that the email address that you're using in here is your domain email address. So it would be greg@positivenumerology.com. You can choose that, of course, when you sign up to the email service, so to ConvertKit or to Aweber, and you can always add more other email addresses. So just make sure that it's not your Gmail address, because that may negatively impact your deliverability, so you won't be hitting the inbox. Okay, now all of these other things, they're a bit more advanced. You don't really need to worry about them. So these are the main settings that you need to do at this stage. Now let's go back to our rules, and what we will now want to do is we will not want to go back into the rules and finish setting up that rule, because we've now got our sequence. So let's once again check when the subscriber subscribes to this form, they get added this tag and they get subscribed to the sequence, and that sequence now is the new sequence that we have created, which is that POSNUM opted in. Okay, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, so that's what I've chosen in here. And let's save rule. So this rule is now created, so as soon as somebody joins our email list through that form, they will get that tag and they will subscribe to that sequence. So let's just make sure that this is actually happening. So the way to test this would be to go into the form, and where it's got here, so we will choose this actual form. To test this form, choose the embed option, and after you've chosen the embed option, so this is going to be the JavaScript that you'll want to insert inside your blog post. So let's just copy that and let's go back into any page on your site. We can just create a brand new page, or a brand new, let's just go add new page. And so this is purely for purposes of testing opt-in form. And so if you insert this JavaScript like that, that's not going to work. You actually need to do it using the text tab. Now, if you insert it using the text tab, then the actual code behind it will work. If you insert it using the visual editor, then it will it will just think that this is the text that it needs to show. Okay, so make sure that any code, HTML code or JavaScript, you actually insert using the text tab. Now let's click publish, and let's now open it up and see if this is actually working. So as you can see, our opt-in form is here. So let's enter our email address. So I'm using this test email address, greg@positivenumerology.com, and I've just added this little plus. So this is a little hack. You can use this to create different instances of the same email address so that it treats it as a unique email. So for now, I'm just going to, you can basically, to keep it simple, you can just use greg@positivenumerology.com. Okay, we can even do that. And so now, as you can see, we've been redirected to the thank you page as per the settings that we've set up inside ConvertKit account. So let's go back inside ConvertKit account and see if this has actually created our subscriber as it should have. All right, awesome. So in the list of the most recent email subscribers, I can see myself here, greg@positivenumerology.com. So let's click that. And we can see that it's got the right tag. So tag has been applied as it should have, so that everything is working correctly. Now we can also see that we have been subscribed to the sequence. Okay, so you can see that sequences, we've been subscribed just a moment ago to the sequence, which is excellent. Under forms, you can see, so everything is working exactly the way that it should be working. And that means that our sequence has already started working, and the subscriber will be getting those subscription emails soon. All right, so let's go back here and make sure that we've done everything that we set out to do. So we've set up the way for our subscriber to opt in. We've got a way for subscriber to get a tag. Subscriber is now added to the follow-up sequence, so all of that is working. The last thing that I recommend for you to set up is an automation for when the sequence is finished to actually remove that sequence tag and add the finished tag. So let's do that. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that as well in a second. So once again, we want to go into our automations and we want to create a simple rule here at the top. Let's go add rule. Okay, and trigger is that when a subscriber completes a sequence. So once they complete the sequence, this positive numerology, so that's the sequence we're dealing with at this stage, we'll want them to add another tag. So we want to create a new tag saying POSNUM sequence finished. Okay, and we also want to remove a tag, that tag that we assigned earlier, which is POSNUM opted in from post. So the reason why we're doing this, sorry if this is confusing, I'll just try to kind of explain this. The reason why I do this is because you're going to always have a flow of subscribers coming in, maybe 10, 50, hopefully 100, 200 subscribers per day that will be opting in into your sequence. But they will all be finishing your sequence at some stage, that automated follow-up sequence. Now you want to have a way to identify the subscribers that are actively in your sequence and those that are no longer in the sequence and they have finished that sequence. The reason why you want to do this is so that you can send one-off emails when you want to promote something to this forever growing pool of your email leads. Okay, so you might have 500 subscribers at any given time going through your sequence, but as they finish that sequence, they will get added to your growing pool of just your prospects that are no longer in your sequence, but are still active and still want to receive your emails. And you will be able to send them one-off broadcasts, maybe 2-3 times a week, send them broadcasts with affiliate promotions, with your new blog posts. You might have, over time, you will accumulate thousands and tens of thousands of subscribers in this growing pool. And this gives you a way to figure out and filter by tag and just send targeted communications to only the people who are in this tag or in that tag, etc. And we're going to set up a tag that will identify to us that these subscribers have finished their sequence and that they still are active subscribers on our end. Okay, so the action is to add a tag which says positive numerology sequence finished, okay? And we're going to remove a tag that says that they've opted in and that they're still in the active sequence. So we're going to save that rule and we are now done. So what is going to happen that as soon as a subscriber finishes the sequence, they will get given this tag saying positive numerology sequence finished. And in the future, you can create broadcasts to just people who've got this tag, positive numerology sequence finished. You will be able to just send emails to them without sending the emails to the people who are still in the sequence. Because what will happen is if you send an email to the people who are still in the sequence, they might get something like 2 or 3 emails a day, and that's just annoying. So this way you can split your subscribers and you can clearly tell people who've got this tag have finished the sequence, people who've got this tag are still in the sequence. All right, so that's everything that we needed to set up in here. Let's move on. Okay, so what else should you know at this stage? Well, sequence should be at least 5 to 10 days. We're going to talk about the actual structure of the sequence in one of the next videos. But it should be 5 to 10 days because you want to have some kind of communications going out to the subscribers as soon as they've joined in your email list. You want to send those communications, make that money, send those affiliate links, and build that relationship with the subscriber. You should also always be growing the sequence. So your goal, long-term goal, is to have a sequence of 90 days, maybe even 180 days that will automatically be marketing to your subscribers forever and ever and ever, because you want to automate your business as much as possible. Okay, but start with 5 to 10 days and then grow it as you're improving your skills and your knowledge. Now, like I mentioned before, everyone who finished the sequence should be sent broadcasts, okay, so that you don't leave money on the table. As soon as they finish that sequence, they should receive broadcasts so that you can send them affiliate links on an ongoing basis. Now, how do you actually learn more? Well, like I said, guys, the best thing to do is to reverse engineer. So make sure, just want to repeat once again, join the email lists of all the top blogs in your niche and study and copy and learn from all of them. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.